In 2018, the White House authorized the use of offensive cyber operations as a deterrent against rival nations. That marked the beginning of a new era in U.S. foreign policy. Let's analyze the USA's cyber warfare capabilities by number of personnel, notable units, assets, and towards the end we'll cover previous cyber attacks carried out by the U.S. You may recognize this video from our real-time cyber account that provides technical content for technical professionals. You can find that channel in the link in the description. This real-time cyber consulting account is dedicated to non-technical content for non-technical professionals. Contrary to popular belief, the American cyber operations did not start recently. In 1997, the Department of Defense conducted a penetration testing exercise named Eligible Receiver 97, or ER-97. It pitted a team of NSA programmers against U.S. military defenders. The NSA acted as a red team playing the role of North Korean, Iranian, and Cuban hackers who were attacking critical infrastructure, as well as military command and control infrastructure. An interagency blue team provided recommendations to defenders. The red team's success at compromising both civilian networks and Department of Defense networks to seriously degrade military command and control systems shocked lawmakers and defense officials. This led to the creation of the Joint Task Force Computer Network Defense, which operated in conjunction with the Defense Information Systems Agency. In 2004, the Joint Chiefs of Staff declared cyberspace a domain of conflict alongside the air, land, sea, and space domain, and noted the Department of Defense must maintain its ability to defend against and to engage enemy actors in this new domain. Later, they divided the Joint Task Force into defensive and offensive components. In May 2010, U.S. Cyber Command was established. It is headquartered at the NSA and absorbed the previously established offensive and defensive task forces. According to the U.S. Department of Defense's Cyber Command, they have over 12,000 personnel dedicated to cyber, including 6,000 cyber warriors, and a Department of Defense Enterprise Defense Force. The Air Force, Army, Navy, and Marine Corps all have established cyber units. Each unit is aligned to support a regional command. As of 2020, only about 2,000 of these 6,000 cyber warriors are in units that carry out offensive cyber missions and are the only people in the United States military that are authorized to carry out offensive cyber operations. The vast majority of them are dedicated to defending military networks, as well as civilian networks from cyber attacks. U.S. Cybercom has employed the Defend Forward strategy to disrupt or halt malicious cyber activity at its source, including activity that falls below the level of armed conflict, directed at defense networks or the homeland. It seems this means posturing cyber offensive assets and preemptively attacking. This also includes the strategy of persistent engagement, continuously engaging and contesting adversaries and causing them uncertainty wherever they maneuver. This may blur the line between defensive and offensive operations for cyber military personnel. For example, according to the U.S. Army Strategic Cyberspace Operations Guide, U.S. Cyber Command conducted more than 24 operations to get ahead of foreign threats before they interfered with or influenced our elections in 2020. It should be noted that the 6,000 cyber warriors and 12,000 personnel does not include the hundreds of thousands of civilian contractors who perform more conventional network security functions. According to the U.S. Army Strategic Cyberspace Operations Guide, integrating cyberspace with other operations during wartime is most effective. This includes disruption of enemy air defense systems using cyberspace attack, insertion of messages into enemy leadership's communications, degradation disruption of enemy space-based and ground-based precision navigation and timing systems, and disruption of enemy command and control. The U.S. military has coordinated cyber attacks with physical attacks. According to the U.S. Army Strategic Cyberspace Operations Guide, during operations in Iraq in 2017, U.S. forces used cyber to disrupt communications to and from the enemy's primary command post, forcing the enemy to move to previously unknown backup sites, thereby exposing their entire command and control network to U.S. kinetic strikes. The NSA has about 40,000 employees, only a fraction of which are focused on intelligence collection through cyber operations. They are very secretive and do not disclose much. The CIA also has an undisclosed number of personnel dedicated to cyber operations. These NSA's and CIA cyber personnel are thought to be the most advanced cyber units. According to former NSA employee Edward Snowden's revelation to the South China Post, in 2013 the United States hacked into Chinese mobile carriers to collect text messages. In 2011, the U.S. partnered with Israel to create the Stuxnet malware worm, which was used to attack the Iranian nuclear program and destroy their centrifuges. The worm was brilliantly engineered to hunt for predetermined network pathways, such as someone using a thumb drive, that would allow the malware to move from an internet-connected system to the critical system on the other side of the air gap. It was speculated that Iranian engineers could see that something abnormal was occurring, but could not pinpoint the cause in time to avert destruction of the centrifuges. According to the New York Times, in 2019, the U.S. is suspected of injecting malware into portions of Russia's power grid with the purpose of both pushing back against Russia's own aggressive hacking of U.S. plants and as a potential future weapon should war break out. In 2019, unnamed U.S. officials told the Associated Press that the United States military also launched cyber attacks against Iranian anti-aircraft missile control systems and a spy network, as retaliation for Iran shooting down a U.S. drone. The cyber attack took a few weeks to plan and execute and disabled the computer systems that control rocket and missile launchers. They didn't include any other details. Yahoo News and The Washington Post had also reported the cyber attacks. Private sector statistics vary widely. According to Bloomberg, there are about 1 million cybersecurity professionals in the U.S., and according to CompTIA, there are about 9 million technical professionals in the U.S. In the case of all-out cyber war, these professionals could be repurposed for the efforts, defensive or offensive. In addition, the U.S. private sector provides technologies that are used around the world. It has long been rumored that the U.S. government has incentivized companies to provide them with backdoors. They could be used to gather intelligence and even potentially disable critical systems. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and others have carried out numerous high-profile cyber attacks on the private sector, critical infrastructure including the power grid, state governments, and federal governments. Over the years, the U.S. government has hardened its defenses. In May 2018, CISA was created and it is expected to grow substantially. The May 2021 Executive Order on Improving the Nation's Cybersecurity was issued to put into place new security provisions, learning from past breaches, particularly the SolarWinds supply chain attack. The executive order also formalized CISA's authority over federal government branches' security and removed barriers for information sharing. The Department of Homeland Security has 2,200 employees at Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency that are solely dedicated to defensive operations. The FBI has also employed cyber squads in their 56 offices nationwide. While generally defensive, they have worked with other governments to dismantle and destroy cyber criminal IT infrastructure and seize domains. While the U.S. cyber spending is overwhelmingly defense-oriented, they have clearly been developing capabilities to carry out cyber attacks to support military actions and intelligence gathering. In a time of war, they appear to have the capability to scale up cyber offensive operations by tapping into their vast pool of private sector talent.